What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Washed Up Club. My name is Adam. I'm here with Zach, who hates RX-7s. And we're here with Brendan, who's going to burp into this microphone all night.
I'm a bit gassy.
And we are three washed up YouTubers who had mad followings and now don't because we don't upload.
A podcast, a mad podcast.
Brendan's lost like 40,000 subscribers.
I have lost more subs than you guys have.
Yeah, that is a feat.
Getting close to you, Zachary.
I don't know if that's a flex, bro. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it isn't. It really isn't.
What I find funny is the fact that when we actually started doing this Washed Up Club thing, you had a fair few subscribers, and it seems to have tapered and gone a lot quicker now that you've started to do this podcast.
Nah, they do like annual wipes where they delete accounts, and that's when I look. Oh my god, it's 20,000 down.
Is that what you call it? Is it?
Yeah.
Do you reckon they're just not seeing your face on TikTok and then going, oh, fuck that guy?
Go back
I've been meaning to unsubscribe.
It's like a reminder to unsubscribe because we're blowing up on the TikTok.
We're blowing up. Hang on, we're blowing up as we speak.
Can we actually talk about
live updates?
Live updates.
If it's still on 2,000 views.
It's still on 2,000.
Yeah, okay. That's dumb.
It hasn't even gone up 100. It's still on 2,000.
This is what Adam does.
It got to like 2,000 views like instantly.
Off podcast,
and
he just sits there refreshing the TikToks and then wonders how we get 8,000
Dude, it's been like
views.
15 minutes because it took us 15 minutes to do an intro.
Maybe we should get Breny to just keep repeating it on his phone again.
Yeah.
I went to the toilet. I didn't mean to do that.
It ruined us. They were just like, nah, scam.
All right. So this morning, I'm having a shower and I'm paranoid because there's been a cockroach guarding my shower. And have you guys seen a cockroach jump before? They do like.
I don't know how this story came about.
No. I'm telling you, it's going to come around. It's like the VR story.
I was in the middle of a rant, but it's all right. Go on.
Okay, so I had a shower last year. That was my yearly shower. And I'm in the shower and I'm washing myself. I'm chilling. And I see this little at the top of the shower. And I don't know why, but I'm paranoid with cockroaches. And he's like looking at me. I'm like, he's going to fucking jump on me. He's going to jump on me. And then he goes to the end of the shower and jumps off. Like they jump because it must have been getting splashed. Maybe I was like splashing him. Anyway, so I was like, oh, he's gone. I'm good. He comes back like 3 days later in the exact same spot. And I'm freaking out. And he once again jumps off there. And this time I actually did splash him to get him off the edge. But I was worried he was going to jump on me. And it made me think, like, I would rather fight someone than have that cockroach jump on me in the shower. And I just wanted to know if you guys have any irrational fears like that.
Just bring it down the
Why are we starting with this?
Because it's funny.
Welcome to the Automotive YouTube podcast. And we talk about cockroaches jumping on you in the shower.
Start with ragging on your missus because this is what episode?
Episode 7.
Wait, isn't it 8?
No, this is
episode
7.
Oh god, it's really dragging on.
I cannot wait to quit.
Same. This is the last
Especially
episode.
with this cockroach chat.
I know, we're really
The
scraping
last
the bottom of the
episode.
barrel.
So thank you so much, everyone, for sticking around for this long.
Yeah,
Very
thank
much
you, everyone. We're
appreciate
now
it.
at the average amount of episodes that a podcast lasts.
I think
We don't want to be above average.
Is this?
Yeah, I
is
don't wanna
this
be an
the turning
overachiever.
point of us being professional podcasters?
When do we turn pro?
Well, we've sold 2 stickers, so
I reckon that's...
Mate, bring the Lambos in.
bring the Lamb. I did order our Lambos from Wish, but
Yeah, nice,
you
cheers.
know,
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll come in.
DIY.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know about irrational fears though. You put us very on the spot with this
Yeah.
story.
Look,
Come on, surely.
I wouldn't be a huge fan of a cockroach jumping on me whilst I'm having a shower.
Because I felt I get claustrophobia as well, and I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna jump on me, and I'm gonna run through the glass door.
You know, there's that guy at work. There's a thing at work, and we're usually there, right? I have this horrible fear that 9:15 to 9:20, this bloke rocks up through the door every day.
Every day, I'm like,
scary as hell.
he's
But
late. He's on time of being late every day. He's like 9:15. I'm turning up. I'm turning up 15 minutes late,
Bang
and
on,
that's
mate.
what's happening.
And I stay 15 minutes late, and then I cop the traffic coming here.
It's all
and
your fault.
Mad rage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking about starting at 8:15 on these Wednesdays so I can come into the potty with you guys, you know, because we all drive together.
Well, no, because we leave at 4. When you'd have to
I'll
leave at 4:15.
Yeah, that's the best I can do, mate. That's the best I can do for you.
What if
love
I
that.
said you have to start at 7:45?
Unless I feel a dire need, I really just can't. Like you saw, we went snowboarding, boom, right there on time.
You're so like on time of being late.
yeah,
It's like it's like he knows exactly when to leave to be 15 minutes late. Like,
no. So here's how it works. I'm like, oh, gotta get to work at 9, leave at 9, and then the 20-minute drive just depends on how much traffic I get. Nah, come on, you
you're
lads
like
have got
my least favorite person.
on the podcast. Heck, I thought it was gonna be Zach.
That makes me the favorite. I love it.
love
Irrational fears. Don't know.
I used to be like,
You
bad.
really like caught me off guard.
I
with this
just don't know how
cockroach
you guys
story.
don't have something that you out like if a big huntsman was on you, would you freak out?
Well,
'Cause
yeah,
I'd
but I don't
actually-
think that's irrational. I think that's very, very valid.
I feel like I'm cooler with that now. I feel like I've gotten cooler with that with age, but like cockroach is just irrational. Like I would fight if you're like, let's fight, or I'm gonna put that cockroach on you. Sorry, we're gonna have to fight.
Yeah,
I
they're
got
pretty
this-
easy to knock you out.
I got this one that
I'd
you
rather
guys. There's one you might understand, and it's those
go
Might understand we're too dumb for you.
Oh, I don't know about I don't know, but anyway, like I used to be really afraid of the dark when I was like 12 years old, like under. I used to be really, really scared, but now I'm completely fine with the dark. But
Yeah.
first time I heard a curlew, though one of those birds.
Wait, is
At
that the one
night?
that flew past before?
No,
What
no,
the
no,
hell
no,
is that?
No. It's one of those horribly scary sounding birds. I think it's a curlew or
Can
something
you
like
make the
Yeah,
sound?
I can't.
I don't
know what a
I
curlew
just
is.
can't picture it without you making said bird sound.
that. I don't know how to make it, but the thing is, it sounds scary as hell. And people who are listening to the podcast will understand that. I reckon if I was in pitch black darkness and I heard a curlew out of nowhere, I would flip my shit and start punching the air.
I've never heard any.
I don't know this bird.
I feel like this is like what your parents told you when you heard weird sounds.
Don't worry, it's just a curlew.
It's just a girl.
They're harmless.
I wish we could Google stuff so then you could hear it.
No, don't allow it.
that
You're gonna have to
sucks.
make the sound.
I don't really care enough about it to
Yeah.
Google it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So you want to have
And
any?
you don't have anything.
I'm sure I do.
You don't have anything.
I don't like spiders.
You seem to be scared of women.
What?
Yeah, fair enough.
I
Fine.
mean,
I'll-
who? If you actually like spiders, you're just a bit weird.
Oh yeah, there's
Like
the
legitimately
snake
like
people too.
spiders.
Snake people.
I understand snakes more than spiders.
Yeah, I agree.
Why?
Because snakes are
At
like
least they're cool.
Yeah. All right, fair enough.
snakes have 2 eyes, not 8. They don't have legs. Spiders have
Why
8.
do you need that many eyes?
Yeah, why do you need that many eyes?
See
What
you're gonna buy.
dimension
What's
are you
it
seeing in?
trying to see? What?
All right. I'll bring up the automotive topic. I'm sorry. So I haven't told you guys, but I got KO and watched the F1 race that you guys all watched together. 'cause
You
I'm not
watched
getting-
it.
I
Wait,
watched
But you
it.
already knew the
Really?
results.
So I knew one slight result, because I forget things like that, old
Yep.
age things,
Mhm.
you know. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I learned so much. Like I have never watched a proper race. I've only ever watched like highlights or Drive to Survive, and like little things like the lines on the tire. Is that they're like if they're on stickies or whatever?
Yeah, the different color.
I didn't know that.
What
And then
type of tire
the
they're on.
first person view camera thing, I'm like, oh, it's kind of shit. But then he head checked in the mirror, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And then the lap they do, but the position lap, what is it called?
formation. Like.
Yeah. What the hell? I didn't know about that. It's kind of stupid.
Because all
I
he
don't really
knows
get
is
it.
if you're the first car on the grid,
You're
you're ahead of
winning.
the
I've
another
learned so-
19 cars.
I've learned so much. And then I was watching old mate, it starts with A, in the
A?
Alpha. No, it's not Alpha. I can't remember the wing car. The
The wing
wing
car.
car. What's it called? Austin Martin, the wing
Are you
car.
called
Aston
Fernando
Martin.
Yeah, that
Alonso?
one.
Fernando Alonso.
Yeah, that lad. You were
Yeah.
telling me he was
Yeah.
he was the most
Yeah.
interesting watch of the whole race
Yeah,
because he like
100%.
worked his way out. Everyone else was just like, But yeah, I just wanted to say I enjoyed my first race.
Oh.
Maggie and I, Maggie fell asleep. But Maggie watched the first half and found it. Now we're really excited to actually go see and hear the
That's
F1s.
very cool.
For everyone else, this is the Bahrain race you watched. The very first race of the season of 2023.
Yeah, so the lads all went into work at 4
Yeah, we all
a.m.
had a cute day in a
We
work.
did actually,
and
it
we
was
watched
good.
it.
on the previously podcast mentioned shit TV that's at our workplace. and they had what is it, egg and bacons, and I was very jealous.
Egg
and bacons.
What?
And
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a vibe.
It was a vibe.
I was super jealous and wanted to come, but I said no. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to be like.
It'll
we
probably be
just
15 minutes
discussed
later.
Exactly
anyway.
right. 15 laps in.
The best I can do is 9:05.
Yeah, fair enough.
But
No,
that's
that's
good that you enjoyed it. What, like, did it catch you by surprise how much you actually enjoyed it? Did you go in and go, I reckon I might sort of enjoy this, but it's gonna be ebb.
The length and do they all go for that like close to 2 hour range?
Yeah,
Like, is
around
that
about
what
that,
you're
yeah.
for?
About, yeah.
I really like that. You get that middle range where it gets a bit quiet and you're willing to look at your phone here and there, but then they always are trying to like highlight on drivers and
Yeah.
stuff. And
It
I
all-
thought that was really cool.
It just depends if there's like a red flag or something. Then
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess it also
for sure.
depends on if the strategy's a one-stopper or a two-stopper. I feel like two-stopper races are definitely more interesting than one-stoppers. But
I
definitely.
really enjoyed the tire play, like the lads that are out there like coming around the corners and people on brand new fresh tires like hooking in and they're
Yeah.
still trying to like block them. It was very interesting.
So do you want to know something else pretty cool? So Lance Stroll, did you see much about his injury, or did they talk
So
about
he
it
was
much?
the other Aston Martin driver.
Yeah.
Became P6.
I think I overheard the injury
Yeah.
thing. Can you
Do you know
refresh
he
me?
has currently a broken foot and a broken wrist?
He had
He did very good then.
Yeah.
he had rods in his wrist.
Ooh.
I'm guessing you saw the Instagram post today
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
I can
How
only
crazy.
imagine the F1 cars are worse than us going go-karting.
Well,
with
he
work.
couldn't.
Yeah.
He couldn't turn
Like-
the wheel all the way around without
He's
letting
doing
go.
stanky.
So he was letting go with one hand and pushing the bottom of
Ooh.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is hectic.
flex.
So
That's hectic.
So 13 days after believe he crashed a mountain bike and broke or fractured.
That's a
3
really,
bones or something.
it's a really weird bones. He
It's
broke
odd,
his
yeah.
wrists and a toe.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
You don't fall
Yeah.
wrist toe first. That's how I learned to fall in scouts.
But like both wrists. Like there was a photo of him. He had a cast on both arms.
I did the old pleb.
Yeah, he must have.
Yeah, he must
Actually, you
have,
know what? He was
Daddy Cash.
No, he was Zachary.
That's the wrong time to drink water. God damn.
No, like, have you guys seen the lads that do like the mountain bike intense trails?
Yeah.
Could not do that. I'd break all my bones.
Downhill mountain biking.
Yeah, no,
It's
I crash
fun.
in snow, let alone trees and shit. Oof.
It's like a hard snow.
It's
tree.
like a snow, but big and green.
Yeah. Trees are a really hard snow.
Stop
It's
it.
Really sorry. My apologies. Yeah.
The other thing I really noticed about it was the Aston Martins. I forget
The
it.
green ones.
The green ones.
Aston
I don't like
Martin.
how there's two really
Aston
close
Martin.
colors, by the way. That's a
There's
bit
only
annoying.
one green.
No, there's green and like tealy blue green.
Which one is that?
Mercedes. Mercedes looks too similar. Like it
Mercedes are black.
No, they're little color bar under the
Oh,
bottom.
yeah.
Yeah.
That means he's indicating that he's the second driver of the team.
No.
You'll probably find if you look hard enough, that 10 out of the 20 drivers have little green bars on them too. To be honest.
Yeah.
No, it was like their colors. They all have their different color. And
Mate,
there's two
Mercedes
ver-
doesn't have any
Maybe I'm
paint on it.
colourblind.
It's black.
Anyway, their cars were zooming. They looked like they have the car of the year. Like it just seemed like they were gassing on everyone with ease. You know?
The fact you
What,
said that about
Aston
anyone
Martin?
other than Red Bull
Yeah.
is a little bit weird.
Oh yeah,
Because
but I don't
Red
even
Bull-
count
it's
that.
it's
dominated
probably
that
because
race.
he didn't even see them because they didn't broadcast it
Yeah,
at all
they
because he
only
was
showed
so
him, like,
far ahead of everyone.
He's like, yeah, my left is not going great, still winning. Like it was.
It was like they were saying something along the lines of he still could have lapped a second quicker if he wanted to.
Yeah, they dialed the cars back to
Yeah.
like.
Well,
same
yeah,
thing.
that was
Just to
speaking about
go
like
to the end, yeah.
budgeting and stuff. Like the whole don't want to blow the budget, so they got to like actually ease up on the cars. I really like the budget thing.
Well, I
never
mean, if
really
you're
watched it
40
without.
seconds ahead and still gaining on people while chilling out, I'm pretty sure you'd be fine.
You've got your average pace.
Yeah.
I have a question though, and what I want to do is I want to watch a few more races and write down random questions and see if you guys can answer them. That's one of my topics for upcoming episodes.
Yep.
Also, I have a really funny one that I will really want to spoil, but I won't.
Oh.
Zachary, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Maybe I'll tell Adam about it so he can have
Oh,
he
yeah.
can come up with some
I got
ideas.
the inside goss.
Actually, we can because it's
The
Zachary
inside
based.
goss. Is
Okay, Yes, we can do that.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Zach's a dickhead.
What'd you say? No.
I think I have to agree with that one. Mate.
What is the little tiny stopwatch that moves around?
That's the fastest lap.
But some of the low cars were getting it.
Correct, yeah.
Correct, because they changed tires.
Oh, okay, okay.
So you'll notice. So at the end of the last race, who was it? Was it Joe that had the fastest
Joe.
lap?
It's pronounced Joe.
Joe, yeah, whatever it is. I don't know. Joe.
Oh, so many names I can't say. I
Yeah.
remember. Can't even remember the car brands.
Yeah, I think it was Joe that had the fastest lap, and he was on like one of the last laps. So they pulled in a car at the very last bit, which was a competitor team in constructors, and they went out, and it was like P16 or P17. Went out and got the fastest lap just to take it off him.
Do you get?
Wait,
anything for
let
that?
me explain
get the
that one
point
a little bit better. So
Yeah.
you get 1 point if you get the fastest lap, but you have to finish in the top 10 to get that point. If you're outside of that point, you don't get it.
Yeah.
So the team was Alfa Romeo that stole it off of a team called Alpine.
Yeah.
So Alpine was P9 and he had the fastest lap, Pierre Gasly. They're competitors, those two teams.
Yeah.
So Joe was like P16 or P15 at the time, so 0 points. They pulled him in with 2 laps to go, put softs on his car,
Just to
took
steal
him
the
out, and then on
point.
the last lap, he went and got the fastest lap, stole the point off him, but still got 0 points. But now Pierre Gasly got
don't
1
get-
less point.
That's really interesting. I thought that it would just like opt to top 10 only.
No.
That's cool that you can still steal it even if
Yeah.
you are.
Like, it's
That's
only
so
1
Yeah.
point, but when it comes to like the midfield, 1 point is a lot.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot
It
of
wa-
money.
you were bang on with the whole because I spoke to Adam about this. For our audience, I'm hoping I can be a gateway between the people that don't sweat bloody F1. Like, I like it, but I don't need to. I don't know their names. But yeah, Adam was telling me like, oh, the middle of the race was super interesting. This
The
one,
midfield.
and yeah, it was really good.
It was because Williams, the blue cars, they did like pretty well.
Yeah.
Last year, they were literally like bottom
Yeah,
2
yeah.
every race.
Well, weren't they
Well, not
like
every
looking
race, but very
like
close.
no more? How do people like all half of the cars there and Red Bull like sell cars? This is Maggie's question. And I'm like, I can't answer that for you. And then some are like sub companies and whatnot, but some don't sell cars. And to me, I'm like, how do they fund it? Is it just like a hobby?
Well, Alpine is owned by a billionaire.
Ah.
Like the guy who owns that Formula 1
But
team.
Alpine is also a car brand.
See?
Yeah, but it's backed
Yeah,
by,
backed by a billionaire.
by the billionaire who
Yeah.
owns
Do you
it.
reckon he could back our podcast? Zachary, could you get on?
I'll get onto him. Yeah,
get
no
onto
worries.
him. You probably know him. He'll be staying over Sunday.
Yeah. I'll be starstruck once again.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the other teams that aren't car brands, the team is owned by a billionaire or something.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. That's the only way they can afford to do it, really.
But yeah, how'd you guys enjoy your little morning breakfast and whatnot?
Yeah, it was a good time.
I was
It was a
super
good time.
jealous.
Basically, like the race is at 2 a.m. here, so we're like, no way are we watching that. It's a terrible time. So we got in at like 5:30, and the rule is like no one's allowed on social media, so you can't spoil the race or anything. So it's like watching it live, and all the boys are there watching on the TV.
It was pretty dope.
was
I
pretty
liked
good.
it. It
It's
was a
pretty
good
good.
day.
Definitely envious. Definitely won't be making it unless it's like a bit more. Maybe it's like a Saturday and I can just stay up late or something to 2 a.m. with all of yous.
With your lateness, can we tell you a time earlier than we plan on being there and then just rock up at the same time you show
No,
up?
because I have this magical vibe of sensing what time you actually mean.
That's great.
Maggie's so funny. She like full freaks out about it because like we're gonna be late. I'm like, oh, I got 6 whole minutes to have a 45-minute shower. But as soon as it was like our anniversary or something, I'm like on time, and she's kind of like, heck, because it's like, yeah, that's right. Well, you important, and she can't do anything about it.
Well, I'm
Love
very.
playing mind games on your partner. It's great.
It says you, episode 7, bitch.
We made it.
We have.
What? Well,
At the end of the day, Maggie's going to be the only
Sarah.
one that listens to this because once again, every day I walk in home and I hear my own dumbass voice.
Yep. There's nothing wrong with that. It's all
Yeah,
good.
I hate me.
At least your missus supports you.
Oh, wow.
No. Sarah supports the podcast by
Not getting involved.
forcing us to get to episode 7 before we shut down the podcast.
It gave me motivation to get to episode 7.
It actually has. And it's created the ongoing joke throughout our entire community that's so young. And episode 7 has been probably the biggest joke that we've had so far.
Shout out our community.
Yeah,
know
it's
we
a
have
nice
one.
little community.
Shout out everyone listening.
Shout out.
Apart
Shout
from
out.
I
people
forgot my
that
second topic because I got so excited about watching the F1 race. I actually had 2 topics and shower scare thing.
Well, I'm glad. There we go. That proves my point from last week because wasn't I like, you need to watch F1 because it's
Yeah.
so interesting.
I definitely want to go to the race.
Yeah, I haven't
same.
been to one yet because it's so expensive.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I don't
Yeah.
know, it's
How much?
hard.
How much did your tickets cost again, Brenny?
200, I think. I
For
can't
general
remember.
admission?
It's 200 with like
Yeah.
no seat or anything.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just to get in.
I'm
and
really keen
walk
to
around.
like suss the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
dig that.
So I had a general admission last year, and now I have 4 days on the last corner. That's all I could get. And
I'm gonna
And
watch it
how
on my
much was
TV.
it again? Because you've told me, but you haven't told all the listeners.
$980. I
just
paid.
just for the tickets.
Is that 1 ticket or did you get 2?
No, this is every single day I can walk in and go to one seat.
That's just for the tickets. 4 days. I'm assuming you're not staying at home.
I'm staying at home.
You are.
Mhm.
Too
Oh,
expensive.
that's a
Mhm.
bit. How are you
Yeah,
going to get
that's
the
gonna-
RX-7 there in time? You have to get up at 3 a.m., drive the RX-7.
Get up
in,
at
find
3 a.m.
To
parking.
avoid the sun.
Get up at 3 a.m. drive an hour, call a tow truck, and then get it towed.
Get an Uber all the way. It's going to be an expensive one.
No, I don't know. I don't know how I'm getting there, but
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
It's-
because the trains
Good
don't
luck
even
park-
go
yeah.
past it. That's
Because
the
like,
biggest
yeah,
thing.
there's no public transport there. There's no parking anywhere. And
Yeah.
last year,
Guys, I don't even know where the race is.
it's at Albert
I just
Park.
booked the tickets. Ooh!
It's at Albert Park,
Yeah, so it's 3
which is
hours away.
already a
Yeah.
really shit place to get
You know,
to.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest sucker for doing. I once like went to a drift event. I think it was like Driftworks, but I didn't know they were a Victorian company. And like I book it, I'm like, yeah, nice. And then like 3 days later, I'm like, I didn't really check where that is. Luckily, it was at Calder Park, and we're good. You know.
Sending out to Winton or something like that. Yeah.
No, like imagine, like, and I'm like, because my aunt loves car things. We'll have to go into a whole story of my aunt someday. But yeah, she's like, oh, we'll go to this event. I'm like, yeah, and I book it for us, and then I'm kind of like, where is it? And she's like, I don't know, but we'll go even if we have to fly. And I'm like, oh, yeah, yeah.
Dedication.
This is a pre-read.
A lot of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
dedication.
Yeah. Speaking of which, been at REIT 1 year now, officially.
Oh,
I'm not
finally.
even taking the mickey.
Now he is.
It's been a eventful year. I've had a lot of job changing and I've learnt a lot. Met you goofy fuckers.
Yep.
Started a podcast.
Mm.
It's been killer.
No, you're locked
Nah,
in.
it's been good. It's been good.
Yeah, it's been great.
Definitely good vibes.
Mm. It's like it's good vibes until 9:15.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That first hour and 15 minutes that we're working at, I'm freaking amazing. We can play some noise and then Breny.
For that hour and 15, I'm free.
Zachary's car doing the quarter mile.
For the next hour and 15 minutes of waiting for the tow truck, I'm free.
Guys, I'm trying to have a drink. Don't make me laugh.
It's a nice relaxing feeling. Just waiting for tow trucks.
It's
You're like,
really peaceful waiting for
I
the tow
don't
truck at 4 in the
understand what
morning.
You're out
sitting
in
in
the
a
wilderness.
$100,000 car feels like.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
I was just going to say, when you're going to the F1s, definitely expect a stupid crowd. It's going to take forever to get in and out. So last year, it was the first one coming out of COVID and stuff, so that's all different. But it was the biggest attendance across the weekend
It
of
was the
any
biggest
F1 race.
sporting event
ever.
Australia has ever had.
It had 460,000 people there over the course of
we'll probably beat those
4
numbers.
days. 3
I
days,
think that
4.
I think it was the 4 days, but I think
But still, that's
Yeah, it
more
was- it
than
was
like
mental.
Oh, I remember that.
that's
Yeah.
more than like all the other races
yeah.
in the world.
Yeah.
460,000, and then I don't know if you ever saw the shots. Like they let everyone on the track because it's a road.
Yeah.
Let everyone on the track after it, and like just it was full.
It was
the track was
bedlam.
just full of
Yeah.
people.
That's cool.
people
Everyone
were
was
stealing
taking the
DRS
signs and stuff.
Now, questions. Do I roll in early?
Yes.
Yeah.
9:15
Yes.
or earlier?
If you
I
want to
don't even
spot,
know what time it is.
if you want to spot against the fence and actually being able to see the cars in general admission, because you're short like me, yeah, I had a
I was gonna
massive
stand
struggle.
on Maggie's shoulders.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be
I think
fine
you
then.
find no matter what time you get there, there's gonna be a lot of people there.
Yeah.
But you're definitely better off getting in as early as you can. But
I'm
you're
gonna
just
make
gonna
a
be
day
in,
of it.
just gonna be in the group of people that are like, I'm gonna get in there as early as I can.
Yeah, but
It's
I
just
don't
gonna
want
be
it.
busy.
Like, how are we
Yeah.
gonna be walking? They're like,
You just
all
can't- you
serious.
can't
I'm
avoid
like,
it.
I really don't care that much. I just want to see the vibe.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, seeing the cars is pretty cool too. Not gonna lie.
Actually seeing the race is pretty good.
Actually seeing the cars is pretty
I
sick.
think I'm more keen on hearing them. Like, I just want to hear them
those
pin
don't-
by.
They don't sound that good, don't they?
To be honest, I think
I'm sure they sound better
once
than my
once you were
TV.
there, the V8 supercars sounded freaking mad because
Yeah.
we walked straight in and we
We're
went.
speaking about F1 cars.
Yeah, I know, but
yeah, it's all
all
on
I'm
the
saying
same.
is the V8 supercars sounded so much better than that Formula 1 cars.
Well,
I'm
it's because they're a V8.
exactly
Formula
right,
One's
but
a stupid V6.
we were like you don't hear it on TV, but V8s are insane. Like their gear shifts are like explosions coming out the exhaust when they change
I like that at
gears.
Sandown. That's why I'm going to go watch your goofy ass. Hopefully someone has a real race car there and I get to hear that that like hits you in the chest.
Well, you don't
and
want to go in his car and listen to the speaker.
Oh, yeah, the sound speak. Vroom, vroom, you are going fast!
I'm a race car.
Wow.
You
Zachary-
guys suck.
Zachary wanted to make us go in his BRZ, which I'm sure like I feel very uncomfortable in most people's cars racing. So I'm sure I would feel uncomfortable after watching you fly off track a few times
Yeah.
as well. But he wanted to do it as a video, and like I'm picturing all these videos I've seen, like taking my girlfriend in my 500 kilowatt super, and then meanwhile it's like Zach's video is gonna be taking my boys in my stock BRZ. It's like,
It is oddly weird, isn't it, that I'm okay with taking it on track with a stock exhaust and everything else as well, because it sounds fine in the car. It just sounds weird from outside.
I
Outside,
think
it's
the
like
s-
wind.
Yeah, it is just wind.
Yeah, you said it's like, like I don't know how to make wind sound. Yeah, but will that hear that?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
It's picking up.
yeah, exactly.
We
like
got
that.
levels, bro.
Yeah, we got levels. Yeah, no, I think it's for me the like you can hear the rev range better. I feel you know, whereas your car right now just would be like at a certain point.
Yeah, so I have a little beep set up at 7,000 RPM. So when it goes, and then it goes,
Well, an
And then
amateur
I-
driver needs a beep to tell him to.
Actually, I'm
change
pretty
gears.
sure.
same
Pretty
as
sure
a
in all
shift
in all
light.
the race cars that they have, like when they get up to shift point, there's a little beep that goes through their ear.
yeah,
I saw that somewhere. I don't know in what sports, but
yeah.
they're like to remind you to shift up. It has like a little beep coming in.
Well, so that really works with my idea. Then we could
Hmm.
put a shock collar on you, and then attach it to that.
the driver.
Yeah. would you not be scared to go in the car with him then?
Yeah, I wouldn't go in the car.
Come on, quit. You're being soft, man.
Shot collar on brake, you reckon? Every time I use the brakes, oh, god damn it.
It's like crash or get shot collar. Like,
Yeah, well, we have to do this. No, I think it's going to be good fun. This is my third time down at Sandown. It was it was going to be either, because I've only done the Tampered Motorsports Day where like I went into the Budget Enduro, and that was like a month ago, and it's still 2 months
yeah.
away from my next event, or like a month away from my next event. So I'm like, I just got to fill the gap somewhere. So
and
yeah.
you, the previous time before that, you'd driven your BRZ. Is it 86 or a BRZ, bro? I can't
BRZ.
remember.
It's a BRZ, but everyone calls it the 8.6 because
It's a BRZ.
apparently
FRS.
it
FRS. Is that what they
FRS.
were?
Yeah, that's American. Yeah.
Wait, wasn't there another one as well? There
No,
was four, wasn't
there was
there?
a Scion FRS,
Oh,
there was the
okay, yeah.
BRZ, and there was an 8.6.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, they're all the same car, basically. So,
No, they're different.
well,
People get so upset about that.
The Subaru has a slightly nicer
You-
interior.
Like
it does, though. Well, no, like 86 owners, you can call them BRZs, and like, oh my god, that's the better one, so it's okay. But BRZ owners, it's like,
better
oh,
one.
legit, this guy.
This
we
guy.
spent
This
the-
guy is that guy.
We spent the extra money to get the BRZ, so it's like, you can't be saying this
I don't
bullshit.
know how they say that with all the penis in their mouth. Because it could be this.
Oh, it's episode 7. It's going downhill fast.
So VR.
No, we're not talking about
that.
VR. No.
Oh, I love the random little sexual segments we're doing right now. This is great.
So Zachary finally got to see the old monster truck S13.
Oh,
What
yeah.
do you think of it, mate?
I
What do you
like
think?
it. I like it. I think there's some pretty cool bits about it, like the fact that every single little dent that you have on there tells a story. The car,
sure does.
the car was immaculate. You've crashed it a few times, which I like. I admire that because it reminds me of my 33. I took that out on track. I bent a few arms. I did a few things. I never fixed them before I sold them. And
Wait. But buyer, he fixed them.
yeah, no, I've fixed them.
Are you
so
still
that-
in
I
contact
never
with the
broke him
buyer?
when he sold.
Yeah. He's a nice guy. Yeah,
Do you guys like keep in contact with people that have bought your cars?
100%. I know every single person that's bought my old cars.
The guy that bought my Supra, I didn't. The guy I bought the Supra off, I did.
Mm-hmm.
He's a nice lad. It's like really cool. Like he'll just occasionally message me like, "You still got that S13?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro." He's like, "Looking to sell it?" No, bro. Not for a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'll probably stay in touch with the guy who's going to buy the Troopy.
Yeah,
Have we
because
spoken
you
about
made him
Troopy
sound
going?
rather interesting.
Not on the podcast, but I told you guys. So
Can we
basically,
have it on the potty?
yeah. I mean,
right.
it's not. I've got a deposit.
The
But
death of
he's
living
still got to
4x4.
come and he's
He's
still got to come
gone.
and get the Troopy, which there's a whole story with that. But anyway, I'll skip that. But basically, he's from Germany and he plans on taking the Troopy, and then he's got a year left on his visa, and then he's gonna ship the Troopy over to Europe, and he's gonna do Europe / Germany.
Does that make
the
you a bit
Troopy.
sad that like it's out of Australia?
Nah, it's cool as.
It's going on
I
a big
just like
adventure.
really, I just really don't want the car to fuck up.
yeah. He like calls you back.
But I'll stay in touch with him because that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't know if he plans on coming back or anything. I don't know. But
Actually, I sold a S13 shell to someone. I just acquired crap, as you guys know, from Extra Starlet. Why? Because it was a good deal. I had a shell, an S13 shell that I wanted to reshell my S14 into once I clapped that out enough. But then I was like, well, I'm not even driving the S14, so I might as well sell this shell. And that guy was like banging out like progression on it. And I was super keen. He was like sending me update photos. I haven't seen one in a while, so I don't know if he just stopped or if he's just like, no, not worth sending. But like, I bumped into him at a drift event. So I'm really bad with names. And I'm looking at him. He's like telling me, and I'm like, I know who you are, but I can't remember.
that's all right. That's like the best thing about living in Australia. Everyone's called mate.
Yeah.
Everyone's
get
called
away
mate.
with it.
No one will question you.
I legit, like, it took me a sec to, I'm like, oh, this is the guy bought the shell off of me. And then I'm like, oh, crap, what's his name? It's going to have to come up at some point. You'll see you, Brendan. I'm like, see ya, mate. Yeah, I feel bad.
See you, champ.
I remember.
Oh, don't hit him with that, bro.
No. I love the
Don't ever
memes.
do that.
I just want to get a kebab and be called, what is it? Boss.
Boss, yeah.
Oof.
Brother.
Brother. I've just hit a memory glitch. I had a glitch in the matrix.
English?
What I was about to say is just. Oh no! Okay, so I used to.
It's coming back.
It was coming back. Woo, the cloud, the internet has reconnected. I was listening to these like inspirational podcasts. I was like feeling a bit down. I'm like,
Washed Up Club?
maybe, yeah. The Washed Up
nice.
Club, the Washed Up Club shorts, and maybe.
Did you
even
make sure
Sunday
to rate
videos.
them 5
I
stars?
did make sure to
Yeah,
rate
nice,
them
good
5
job.
stars.
Yeah,
Their
beautiful.
Uber account.
Did you leave a
is
comment?
Hacking. I did leave a comment.
Yeah.
These
That's
guys
really nice.
suck at forward driving.
Did you remember to follow them on every single platform
I
as
did.
well?
I
Yeah, nice.
did. And also buy their stickers from stickersocials.com.
Oh, that's really nice of you. That's
No,
cool.
so I was listening to this inspirational podcast because I was trying to pick up my mojos, you know, and they said, if you have a friend that says they just can't remember people's names, get them out of your life. They're toxic and lazy. And I'm like 8 episodes into
Brendan
this.
gets so mad as he's turning up late to work. How dare they call me lazy?
As I'm speaking to someone forgetting their name. No, I legit, like, they said it's just not making an effort to remember. And I've never fully just figured something off so quickly for one little thing. Like, that hit me. So I'm like, well, you don't think I want to remember people's names? You think I meet someone, hear their name, and it just... And I'm like, oh, thank God I didn't remember that. Oh, it pissed me off so much. I've never been so angry about something so dumb. I'll headbutt that person if it was a cockroach or that person.
Easy choice. Easy choice.
Smackdown, the Smackdown chair 4 is coming out.
Brenny just rage quit a podcast.
World's first rage quit.
You should see the room's filling up with smoke from his head. It's pretty crazy, bro.
Imagine I rage quit an inspirational podcast. Like,
Are you mentally okay, bro?
no, I am not.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Rage quit and like an inspirational
I legit
podcast.
cracked it. And I was like a fair few
Did it
episodes.
make you feel better though?
Rage quitting
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
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 There you go. It works.
I was like, yeah, fuck these. Mate. I'll get all
I don't know, mate.
They don't know me. They don't know the effort in my life. I don't know why I get real bogan apparently. So yeah, that was it was an experience. Like feel how angry I am about this subject.
Yeah.
Imagine it live.
You're radiating violence.
Yeah,
right
I was
now.
radiating. It's like when you come into work.
Radiating violence.
Yeah.
Nah, I come in with vibes. Remember this
No, he
morning, I was
does.
chilling. And then you walked in and I was
So
just...
I was sitting in my car this morning, and then I was chatting to Mum, and Adam went inside, and then I came in later. I put everything down. He was like, "Hey, mate, how are you?" I'm like, "Really good, actually."
Is that what it's
And
like?
then, no. And then I walked over to my desk, and there's a fully made coffee
Made him a
sitting
coffee.
right there, ready
Made
to
him
go.
a coffee.
Made me a coffee.
Whoa!
Straight up.
I have never received this customer service.
Oh, bullshit.
I have. Every time we do merch, Adam makes me a coffee.
Just gets the depresso.
the Depresso Espresso. We needed to get that machine.
We do.
We're thinking about buying a coffee machine at work.
Oh, yeah.
Or group purchase.
Oh, yeah.
Or if there's any coffee machine
Just us for
sponsors
40
out
minutes
there.
a day trying to figure out how to use it.
Put that on your time sheet. Make it go.
40 minutes powering up.
Sorry, no, that was my jumper. I do apologize on the SmackDown chair. It sounded like a fart. It was actually my jumper.
Yeah, no, they're
Who's
starting to-
gassy now?
They're starting to not be able to take the weight. It's getting squeaky.
We're really wearing them in for
The GVM
2
on
hours
these
of-
chairs are
We
not...
really are.
not
Oh, I've
high
put
enough.
on mad chonk recently. I'm like, you know those muesli bars I eat at work?
Yeah, that I
Like
told you that have
500
a lot of
calories each,
calories
and
in
I'm
them.
like, oh, I'm a bit tired. I could have another one, and I'm having 2 a day. It's like 1,000 extra calories, a big ass yogurt muesli bar. So good though.
Have you thought about not eating them?
Before you go, I can only drink so many of these per day before you guys start asking questions.
How many have you had today?
2.
We're talking about Monster energy drinks, just so everyone
Our
knows.
soon-to-be sponsor.
Yeah,
Absolute fire.
our very good, sponsors. Monster Energy.
I must admit, we do a few. I think it's our biggest podcasting flaw is we're a little bit visual every now and then. And I realize a lot of people listen on Spotify.
Yeah.
You know,
It's half and half at the
I
moment.
was
It's half
YouTube my
YouTube and half
podcast.
Spotify.
Is it really that much now?
Well, I think
It's pretty
Spotify's slightly
heavy.
under, but it's still mainly YouTube.
That's
Which
crazy.
is surprising.
pretty
Yeah.
large.
Shout out all you people.
Shout
Yeah.
out all you people. Well, Zach's waving at you. So we have 2 guests lined up. We're very
Which is pretty
excited.
cool,
We
yeah.
won't drop them, but they should be coming in the near future because your boy's going to Japan.
Ooh.
It's all booked, mostly. The important stuff.
Brenny's going to Japan,
And we
and work is going to be so much nicer. Zach's going away as well.
Yeah.
I'll be chilling.
Yeah, you will actually. You'll have 2 days to yourself.
You know what? I think Adam should run the giveaway that month.
I reckon he should
We'll
too.
move our holidays.
I
Adam just
reckon-
has.
I reckon he's got the entire giveaway sorted. To be
He's got
honest.
everything
without
sorted.
a doubt. The entire filming,
We'll
editing.
pretty much have to do all your jobs anyway.
Yeah, fair point.
Hmm.
Not wrong.
My name's Brendan.
I
I
like
copy your website and paste it.
yeah, duplicate, change text. I
It
remember
takes me 3 days.
takes
Trust
me
me.
2.
Trust the
takes
process.
Takes me 3 days because I turn up late. I spend an hour making a coffee and then another hour complaining.
Wait,
I'm
3
joking,
hours
I'm joking,
trying to
by the way.
digest
I'm
this
joking.
muesli bar.
The process, mate. I had to clean my seat the other day because the muesli bar went everywhere.
Oh no! Oh no!
I like
You just scrape it up into your hand and get the extra 1,000 calories
Yeah.
over the
Yeah,
next
yeah,
couple of
yeah.
no.
just eat it off my seat. So the other day, a little while back, Adam started at my time, because Adam starts at 8 and I start at 9:15. And he stays back, and I just didn't have as much work on. I was like, doing emails, doing little things, trying to do merch designs. It doesn't look like I'm busy. And he's like, you just do nothing when I leave. And I'm like, I really wish I had evidence to no, I'm doing stuff, but it's like I'm waiting for emails. I'm going back and forth. We've got a lot of things on the roll, but you legit stayed back on the day where I had the probably least work going on.
Sure.
And I felt,
Sure.
I felt so bad. Like today, I'm messaging you guys out of work, like, doing things. Thought Thought that was pretty funny.
Got back to us. Yeah, that's a tomorrow job. Cheers,
I
mate.
messaged these guys like, "Hey, what do you guys think of this this write up?" They're like, "Look, they
Can
look
I
at
talk
it,
to you tomorrow when I care?
They look at me. They're like, "Yeah, we're not
when we get paid
working."
to care.
Valid point. Zachary,
Yeah.
what are some things you'd suggest I get up to in the Japan? Because right now I don't have a very automotive based.
I'm the only
trip.
one here who has not been to Japan.
I highly suggest going to Japan because it changes your
Well, I wanna
whole
go to Japan,
perspective. I went over there.
Japan.
I can't afford it.
I went over there like when I left. I had a massive sort of like I don't know like
Penis.
yeah. I've always had that though. That's the thing. It's
Got it
always
from me, Dad.
That's the weirdest thing. We gotta start again, guys. Start
What
again.
has happened?
So, what did you get up to in
Hey,
Japan?
guys.
What's up, guys? It's Tom
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the WashedUpClub.
No, I went over there and I always had like this big thing in Australia where I very much pick and choose what cars I like because at the point I had like a Falcon.
Who doesn't pick and choose what cars?
I'm
they like?
confused where you're going with this.
Well, no,
obviously,
no,
but
no.
I'm keen. Go on.
You go over there, you have a love for some cars, you have a hatred for other cars. Like I used to see a Honda Integra and go, who the hell would drive around in that droopy-eyed little weird-looking car? Sorry, all the Honda Integra owners, right? But no, I go to Japan. And I go to places like Dokoku and I see the amount of different cars. You'll see like an Evo that's fully track spec, and you'll see another Evo 8 across the park, and it's got like massive big 19s and all cambered and everything. And then you'll go down the other end of the car park and there'll be an RX-7 that the guy just keeps in his garage, and he absolutely like it's a pristine
What's
car.
an RE RX-7?
RE Memia.
Is it
So
a
like a
RX-7?
a really
really fast one.
Yeah, it's an RE Memia RX-7, so like a crazy big body kit, like a big track spec sort of RX-7. And then you can look around. There's this little granddad and his little cappuccino, and he loves it. But the best
I
thing
love
is,
a good kappa.
yeah, the thing is, like all those people, like if you went there that night, all those people would talk to each other in a big group. They don't know each other, but they all go talk to each other.
I wish we had that here. We really.
That's the
it's
thing
so,
is we don't.
Like, it's
We-
like little gangs here.
Yeah, we go
everyone's-
to like a car meet, and there'll be people that hate on. I mean, like realistically, if you plaster dip your Lance's wheels and trying to get into a mad car show, please don't. But if you like I don't know,
Part
like
of the problem, maybe.
Yeah, part of the problem.
I understand because I used to be that person, so it's all right. But like,
I don't think he does.
You come back with a big appreciation for all cars, which is cool. Like I understand like American muscle is big and they're fast and they're hectic, but you know they're kind of cool in their own little aspect. And I admire little cappuccinos now. I come back, I have a new appreciation for Hondas. I like different kind of Hondas.
After.
Yeah,
He
Talking 'em.
respects all builds.
I respect all builds, man.
Very
I had like that same like realization because like
Cultured person.
you are not. You talk so much trash. I'm telling you guys.
No, I see a nice car, and if I see love and attention put into it now, it's cool. And I appreciate that sort of thing. Even if it's a car that I would never dream of owning or never want to drive in my life, if I see that and it's like a Mini with a Hayabusa engine and I don't know, it's like patinaed or something like that.
Like
I'd never build that,
the
but,
cars you're like mentioning are still so hectic. I think see what it came with me with my old age is like you kind of learn that like, and I'm not trying to teach you. I suppose this is me just
Granddad's
venting.
gonna tell
What
us
I'm
this
gonna
bit of
tell
a
you guys.
story. Back in
No,
my day.
I was very like, oh, 4-door Skyline. That's not the cool 2-door.
I know, I'm
one.
still against that.
It's not
Fuck,
turbo.
man. No.
This guy, literally, like, I just like really
He's
come
in-
back with
he's
an
in Harry
appreciation.
Potter.
But
Hypocrite!
fuck 4-door Skylines.
Hypocrite!
Fuck Hondas. This guy.
That's a paddling right there. No,
No,
I do have an appreciation for them, but
You have appreciation for how shit they are.
yeah, I only tell you guys how shit they are. I don't. If someone came up to me
Now
and
the
said,
whole
"This is
world
my
knows it,
4-door
'cause we're
Skyline," I'm like,
worldwide.
wow,
Alright,
that's
let-
amazing.
One viewer from
mate.
Ireland. Shout out Dave Egan or
Yep.
Blaine.
Shout out Dave
or Blaine.
Egan.
Yep.
Who, yeah.
One of the two.
Do you reckon it's one of them?
It's got to be. It's
Ireland.
like.
Did you know about that? Yeah. So on our Podbean,
The little globe of where people have watched us won.
Yeah, literally.
because we're still like in the 3 digits for how many people have downloaded the podcast over the 7 episodes.
Very trackable. We're watching all of you.
We are watching where everyone
I
comes
can
from.
tell when one of you doesn't watch.
2 people in Sydney. What happened? There was 3 last week.
It's legit at that standard right now, as we can track who's watching.
It's a bit better than
It is a bit better than that, but yeah, no, there's 1 viewer from Ireland, so it has
Fingers
to be.
crossed,
It has to be
Fingers
because I
crossed to
messaged
say.
Blaine about asking to get that footage, which he hasn't sent to me yet. Come on, Blaine. I know you're listening.
And
I
what?
know you're here. Send us the
This
footage.
is how he gets reminded.
So we told them about it and we tagged them on YouTube in
in the story,
episode.
yeah.
So I reckon that
they may have
it has to
peeped
be
it,
one
yeah.
of them, surely.
I hope they went to the
I'm
actual
getting
bit of that
nervous
story.
Yeah. I hope they listen to
Bro,
that.
I haven't seen the bit. I want to go back and watch because I remember grabbing your hand at the realization
did.
that he. Oh, such a good moment. Let me tell you my papu story.
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. So I used to be, you live and you bleed it, and I feel like that's you a lot, and me not so much anymore because I'm old. But I just kind of learned that like there's some people that like cars and they're willing to spend $100 a month painting something on their car or going to a car meet or taking their car to an event. And, there's like different spectrums of the effort people are willing to put in, the finance, the people's financial position. And I have I go to a meet now and I don't gauge anyone by their car anymore. It's their passion for their car. It's if they're, I hate when people are like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I would rather hear, last week I did this. And it could be the littlest thing. I painted something.
Yeah,
Oh, you
I painted my windscreen wipers.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And
I'm stoked for it.
I dig that so much
Yeah.
more than the guy standing in front of a $100,000 RX-7 telling me he's going to fix the cooling problem.
I'm gonna drive it one day.
I'm going to drive it. Get roasted. Get roasted like your rotary. No, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
I
Come
think-
to you now and I'm like, I drove it on the weekend and you should feel proud.
that's it. Drives. No, we're allowed to roast you, but
100%, yeah.
you get what I mean.
100%.
Like,
Yeah, I've really learned to think when you see cars and you go, "Ooh, I don't know about that." Then you go, "Well, maybe they just can't afford to do what they really actually want to do."
And they're
like,
just-
not everyone has bulk coin to be spending on a car. It's just not a thing.
you know what else it is? Drive around a really high stance wheel gap Sylvia, and like I'll drive into a car meet and I just like you literally hear people like lower it, loser. Like I literally hear people saying things like that. And I'm just like, man, this car's seen more shit than you're fucking standing beside your mum's Honda, And
Don't shit on the Hondas, mate.
I actually I learned to drive manual in a Honda. My good mate Sace, shout out Sacey boy, I know he's listening. Taught me manual because I had previously tried learning manual with my granddad, and he would legit like he was a big lad. His leg was pressing against the shifter of a Ford Laser, a really old Ford Laser, and I stalled it, and he'd just look at me and be like, "You stalled it." I'm like, oh, because my granddad was my world. Like, he was like my rock in life. And yeah, like to be like frustrated with him was just like, it was the first time I'm like, you have a lot of respect for this man. Don't crack the shit. So I'm like, listen, Pop, we're going to do this another time. And then one day I had my Ps, I got my auto license, and my mate Sace is like, oh, my car's manual, you can learn to drive in it. And I learned in a old Civic.
It's pretty cool.
And it was a vibe. Like Sace had big sub in the boot. It was tinted. Oh, it's like basically the style.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like a style.
Yeah, see, full circle, came around. I ended
exactly
up with
right.
a car pretty similar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I respect the Honda Flex. I respect a lot more after going racing and stuff, and I'm sure
Yes.
that's vibed off with you as well.
Yeah,
like,
certainly. I've definitely respected a lot more cars now because you understand that there's so many different cars you can push to the limit with racing. And it's kind of fun to push cars that you don't necessarily expect to be performance-y sort of thing. Like we were looking at, for the budget enduro, a Honda Jazz. And then we ended up finding about the fact that Spoon Performance loves these Jazzes because they're amazing. Like the chassis is beautiful, and you don't realize it.
I forgot
Yeah.
a story about a Honda Jazz.
Oh, God.
In front of the mic.
One of my mates, sorry, I'm going to clear my throat. One of my mates had a Honda Jazz that was slammed on the ground.
Oh, no.
It was like so low stairs down. It was so gangster. He was driving to Black Label, hit one of the manhole things, airbags went off and everything.
Oh, I've never thought about
Yeah.
that.
It was like low though.
That's really scary though, because like imagine if he was going fast,
Yeah.
like airbags off hands.
Well, I'm pretty sure the airbags went off, but something like really bad happened. But
Yeah.
it was pretty because he hit this manhole cover because it was like they were doing road works, but they just like bolted that thing down. So it's not like really a manhole. They just like when they just bolt a bit of metal down.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And it's terrible.
They have that like we dug a hole here, we need to cover it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically that, and he hit that. I'm pretty certain that the airbags went off because
That's
he hit it so hard.
crazy.
But it was like just a slammed
I don't-
static. It was
I
it was
don't
so
like the
cool.
idea of that, like-
it was so cool.
None of my cars have airbags. I've never had to worry about that. But like, I can imagine having a BRZ and like, are your airbags disabled? Like,
No.
would you almost want that? Like a crash on the track's probably worse than airbags are expecting.
I'd rather crash
know?
on the track than crash on the street. I think we've spoken
Well,
about
no
it before.
shit.
Yeah, yeah. I think I've spoken about that before, but no, 100%. I'm keeping the airbags in the BRZ.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, why? Unless you like trying to reduce weight, but why would you get rid of the airbags?
To me, it's just like him going down a straight, hits a big bump at like 180, accidentally sets
yeah,
it off.
no.
Airbag shoots his hands off the
Nah,
steering
No,
wheel.
I
if
think
you
this is
don't
like an
slam your
especially
BRZ.
bad
yeah,
situation.
faulty, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't think you
it does
understand it. This
happen.
thing was like on the ground.
Yeah.
It's like on the ground.
It'd be pretty hard to pop the airbags if you're not crashing in a BRZ.
Guys,
Surely.
I'm going to be hella rude and I have a mad topic about that and I'm writing it down.
Well, yeah. So with Japan and stuff like that, I highly recommend that you go. Just sort of, I know you're not wanting to do some car stuff, but at least go down and check out Daikoku, because Daikoku is just one of those things where if you go to Japan, it's on every single night, and every single night there's something different.
Every night.
Yeah, no, 100%. You
Really?
go
Every night.
every single night. Yeah.
Is this that one that's like in the middle of the highways?
Spiral.
Correct. Yeah, correct. So Daikoku PA, the PA stands for parking area, which they have a lot of them over in
Personal
Japan.
assistant.
Yeah, personal assistant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Daikoku Futo PA. So it's sort of at the, it's in Tokyo, but it's sort of like near the coastal area. But it's just a parking area where you can go and get a sit
Can you
down.
walk there?
and-
I'm going to need a car, aren't I?
No, you need to drive there,
Yeah.
and it's hard to get to. You have to get the
we're
right
all
turn
we're trying to train it, but we are prepared. I'm going to get my international
Yeah.
driver's license again and maybe have a day where we hire a car and go like Fuji area
Yeah,
where
nice.
we can't go. That is definitely on my list of places to go.
Mm.
I've been to Japan and I would like to save those stories for when we have our guest that I went with
Nice.
to Japan, because I thought that would be a cool little topic for him. But I think I went around it and looked in and I'm like, it's there. How do we get to it?
The worst thing is if you miss it, it's like a good 20-minute detour to get back to try and get into the place.
I missed a turn on an underground tunnel thing in Japan
Oh,
and was
no.
going the wrong way for 50 kilometers.
What?
50 kilometers before you could turn around.
What?
Oh,
Look,
bro.
they don't give you much of a
They
chance.
give no room for leniency and you cannot be no one on the road is wrong. You know, you have that person when you drive every day, probably on the way to work, like, what are you doing? And you're getting angry. You're already 15 minutes late.
No,
Because
you're
you
running on
left it when
time,
you
Brenny.
started.
Yeah. And you just want to headbutt this person and you're just wondering what is going through their head. And then you just don't get that in Japan.
No,
They're
everyone just
like-
cruises.
They are so good.
Yeah, straight
Everyone
face.
that is slow, bang to the left lane, go in the right lane.
Mm-hmm.
We had a car was on fire in one of those tunnels, and I hear the sirens, and this is legit bumper to bumper through this tunnel, and I'm like, oh shit, what do we do? Like,
Yeah.
how's this ambulance gonna come? Everyone perfectly pulls over to the side, like enough to get the ambulance through
It's
the middle.
not like Australia where everyone like
Does
frantically
this.
just
Oh
goes.
my god! Like you get people going on the wrong side of the road to let
Yeah.
the ambulance. Mate, just go to the left.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
love Japan.
Yeah.
It's
Japan's
such a
amazing
vibe.
like that. And rarely any speed cameras.
You know what?
Best
You
thing.
know what? Oh, I really want to tell you guys a story about my Japan trip. Oh, maybe I'll let one out.
Did you get pulled over?
I don't know why we were speeding, but so we're filming cars in Japan. That's why I went to Japan. We're filming cars and we're trying to get like a rolling shot. We had a higher car and then the higher like GTR, for example. And I'm rolling in it and this car like zooms up behind me and I'm like, we had mics. I'm like, bro, I'm going like 130. Like, what is this guy in a rush for? I leave the lane and then I look like he scoots past me with the unmarked cop car things in there. I'm like, like, because then I had this like, that was the flip of the coin. I'm like, what happens if I go to jail in Japan? What happens? Like, I don't know what happens. And from then on, all my driving was sensible as. But like the day before that, I'm at Mount Fuji, like I'm in Fast and Furious. I don't know what I was thinking. It's for some reason like I definitely didn't drive the cars out of my skill level or anything, but it was definitely not applicable driving. And I just for some reason was like, I can't get in trouble for this. I think it's
typical Australian overseas, mate.
Honestly, I think it was the person I was with because they always like had this like because they're on an American license here. They're like, oh, the cops see my license and they don't know what to do with it. And I think that kind of passed on to me in Japan. And I'm like, surely you just get in trouble, but in Japan, you know?
Yeah, no, I've seen a lot of people get pulled over in Japan, and a lot of them are the same thing. As soon as they see an international driver's license, they just go, "Don't do it again," because they don't want to. Because everything they do, you probably already know, is everything's written, everything's in paper.
No.
Yeah, they don't use computers much over there.
No, he's like,
which is
pulling
weird.
out this book to see my past history.
Yeah. No, they do everything with paper, which is annoying to be honest. But
don't you find that really interesting that like
so technologically
Japan,
advanced?
But like some things like
and they're so old school and other things.
Yeah, like they have in the tunnels, and I think we're doing it now in our tunnels. The thing to tell you what speed to average.
We are, yeah.
That's so cool. They have that already. But then on the side of the road, and this is really funny because it could replace, shout out all the tradies out there, they just have a robot sign that's doing this to say there's construction there. Instead of paying someone to do it all day, like they can trust a sign to do it. And yeah, Japan's fire. Love it. Just me
I really want to go to Japan, but I want to do it
with
like,
me.
Well, I would do it with you. I'd do it with you too.
What are we doing again?
Going to Japan.
Oh, right. Okay,
on.
my apologies.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I don't know how to explain it, but you know when you do stuff on the cheap and it makes it a better trip because you've like tried to do everything on the cheap and you like, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to experience. It's like experience the back end of Japan.
So you want to experience the back end with us?
That's all I heard.
Of Japan.
You just blown it out of proportion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Either way, I'm down. mate.
Like you're not doing the typical nice things. You're just like going on like the places you stay aren't that great, but it's a vibe, and you're just like.
I'm doing in the middle of that.
Yeah.
I have Maggie, and I shout her out for this because it was so smart. Is I wanted to go there and literally do that. I'm gonna live off the land. I'm gonna go there with money, and then I was speaking to May, Samet's partner, and I was just getting suggestions. You know, I'm like, oh, should I be hiring a car or going by train? And should I be booking hotels or is it fine to just roll up? And she's like, you're going in the tourist season. Pre-book the hotels. Don't hire a car. It's going to be like $9,000 for 2 weeks if you're staying in Tokyo for some of it. And I was like, thank you. I appreciate that. And she also invited me over to the Samet HQ. I'm very keen on that, especially because they've had a adorable little baby now. And I want to meet the
so
I want to go to
nice.
Japan and meet the JDM baby. Shout out Samet's
JDM Force Internals, baby.
Yeah. That sounds like a vibe. I wanted to do that. Daikoku Boku Cockle PA.
Daikoku PA.
Daikoku PA. An up garage. The Nismo factory.
That'd be cool. I didn't get to do that.
That's about the car stuff I have on my
One cool
list.
thing I definitely recommend going to is the Nismo Heritage Museum.
I think that's the one that
Yeah,
she
so they have a
suggested.
Nismo Museum. They have the Nismo Heritage Museum, and that's got the place where the only ever the GTR LM, the only one, like the one that was based off Le Mans that they had to homologate.
Oh.
Yeah, that big cool blue LM, the widest 33 in existence. That's there. One of the coolest things I ever saw though was a under 1,000 kilometer two-tone Seafoam S13. And
That's
it was
fire.
beautiful.
You
One of the
do
most
not-
amazing cars.
You do not see the Seafoams anymore.
No,
that were
not
like
at all.
my favorite. I wanted a Seafoam one or the gold and white cream ones. But the gold and cream ones have a brown interior on the S13s, by the way, audio listeners. Yeah, the Seafoam one, that's burnt into my memory of my dad's mate. The one I was gonna possibly buy if I had the coin and if I could drive a turbo manual car.
Yeah.
But I couldn't, so
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
Yeah, so there's some other pretty cool cars there, like the R30 Silhouette race car as well. I don't
Oh,
know if
cool.
you've seen that before.
I have not.
So it's a pretty cool car. It's like a real boxy looking thing, but it's one of the styles where they have, the big square wings on them and like the hood sort of vents that sort of come up like big fins and come up to the front of the window.
That's cool.
Really big front splitters. They're
So
really
like
cool.
a little bit muscle car-y.
No, it's really angular and really squared off. It's a pretty cool race car. But then they also have like the Calsonic cars. All the Calsonic
Ooh, I
cars are there,
love
which is
them.
pretty cool. All the Pennzoil
There's
cars
like
are there.
a replica one of them that I saw at Sandown once. Hopefully he rocks up there when...
That'd be pretty cool.
Is it
actually.
this weekend we're going?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Are you actually coming?
This
Zachary
Monday.
just does
So-
it. Bro, Sandown's like 2 minutes away. It's not like you're making me drive to Winton.
Fair
So
enough.
can we just take a quick pause? I'm pretty certain this camera is not recording right now.
Oh, no.
How many do we not have recording?
Yours isn't.
Yours, is
Mine
it?
definitely isn't either. What?
Is yours, Breny?
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll be back.
We'll be back after this short intermission.
That's weird.
up,
All right, we're back. We're back. Zach's camera turned off, but we're back. We're
Don't know
talking
what
about Sandown,
Oh yes.
Going to
So
Sandown this weekend.
so you can have passengers for the first and last session.
which makes no
Is it
sense.
free?
No, it's $25 for a passenger.
If you pay half of it, I'll go with you.
Well, the thing is, I'm already paying for Sarah potentially, but we'll see. I'm not quite
Ooh,
sure.
The wife is going to come exciting.
Yeah, it might be
Has she
alright.
been in the race car with you?
No, never. She's actually she has, but only the short track at Lakeside. So it was all like everything was under 60 kilometers an hour, but it was short
Oh,
and tight
wow.
and technical. Yeah, it was very, very quick.
That still be fun.
Yeah, it was very, very quick.
Can I take the Prada on it?
You can take
Imagine,
the Prada.
imagine how scary that would be.
100%.
Starlet, bro. We'll just
Oh.
share the Starlet.
I reckon the Starlet would do pretty well, to be honest. I reckon it'd do all right.
I reckon it would blow up. I'd like hit the brakes, the engine slop would just shoot the engine out the front of the
Yeah.
car. Then I have to roll the rest of the race.
Yeah.
Still beat you though.
At least you didn't almost blow up the most reliable car that you own. The BRZ, she got an engine light the other day.
Oh yeah.
Could not
Wow,
believe it.
Way to milk that. Almost blow it up.
Almost blew it up.
Gotta check engine
A light turned on and nothing happened.
Mate, like Sylvia's had a check engine light since I bought it.
I'm talking in YouTube titles.
Oh.
That's my second language, I reckon. But yeah, no,
Nearly
that
blew
and
up my
cockhead.
JDM.
nearly blew up my JDM
forged
unforged
internals.
internals, fully hectic FA20.
Hectic?
Yeah,
Oh,
it is.
Fully hectic.
Oh no.
Hectic.
So,
yeah.
so you've taken her on a small track day. Anything else?
Which one? Which one? The
The
oh yeah. Just
Which misses?
I got a few on the go. I just need to understand which. Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, only like little lakeside ones. She went in the 33 and she drifted for a little bit, but that was only the wet skid pan. So it was very
nice,
smooth
still.
and nice. And
I got a really big kick out of taking Maggie to Winton. We did a Winton day.
Nice.
It was very impromptu. I don't know if I told you guys about the. I went with my mate to pit crew for him, and then they had a spot open at the sold out event, and he's like, "Bro, you should drive," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, all right." And so I'm on the bald tires, overheating car. Still had a ball.
yeah, nice.
Did a 152. Not the fastest, not the slowest. That improved over my NA time, but also, I don't know.
Yeah.
I need more driver time, I think.
Yeah.
And also need to sort, obviously, the heating, but my brakes. I've never done a track day with good brakes. It's always the thing that like lets me down. I'm like just smoking them and the tires are still rolling. Because I'll put some cheap stickies on, and get the like brand new tire feeling.
I would really like to give it a shot, but it's just, I don't know, the car. And it's just such an investment.
I would let you do a Motorcana in my car. I don't. Until my cooling and stuff sorted, I would not. I'm barely doing
When I get my new car, you can take out the BRZ. Without a doubt.
I'll probably give it a shot. But it's just like, I'd still be reserved. Be like, because it's not my car.
Yeah, no.
So like, 100%. You wouldn't reach like, you wouldn't be push. I don't think I'd be pushing myself that hard.
I'd
think
just
be like, okay, yeah, this
find
is pretty cool.
A different push anyway. Like you'd still be able to like, because you don't have to be going 100% to come up to a corner and learn how to take it faster and learn how to, do it better and actually not slow down too much.
Smooth
Zachary's
is
car
fast.
has to hold speed or else it's not going to get going.
Smooth is fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have turbos to help pull me out of corners.
Yeah, so I took Maggie on that impromptu Winton day, which was really fun. I just love, like, I've taken lots of friends out on the track and the feeling of hopping out of the car and sharing something I'm so passionate about and seeing the biggest smiles on their faces makes me so happy. I took a mate, Luke, on a grip day when I was still in A. The actual day I blew my motor, I really just popped the water pump.
Yeah, had a check engine light come on.
You wouldn't believe it.
Blew it up.
I parked and the car turned off. That actually probably would be bad. I took him for his first ever track day, and it was like the end of the day, and I was just going hard. Like, it was my second last session, and I hopped out of the car, and like when I take people first, I'm like, "Oh, how do you feel?" I didn't even have to. I've never seen someone with that big of a smile on their face. Like, he was just like giggling, all giggly, and it's just such a rewarding feeling to share something like that, especially because it's so expensive, Like my mate Nathan boy, Nathan Atkinson, he used to drift alone, and I didn't get it. I'm like, why would you you just chalk $200 of tires, share it with me. But then he was also very focused on getting more competitive, and I can understand having me in the car, like, oh yeah, just trying to like G me up driving.
Entering the corner, everybody's like,
oh yeah.
It's a really accurate laugh.
It was
I
accurate.
like that. Yeah,
I thought I was watching my own video. No,
some random kookaburra got my
wait, what bird? A cock swallow, or what have you called it before?
A curlew?
I used to hear cock swallows at night time.
what is happening in this podcast?
Oh no.
Over a couple of episodes, you kind of fall into.
We're getting more relaxed.
We're getting a lot more relaxed.
We're going to get banned. Find us on the new streaming platforms, XXX podcast. No, that and I did a Motorcana day with Maggie, and that was really fun because I like Maggie's super into drifting. It was really weird when we first started dating. I'd be like laying in bed, like watching some repetitive How I Met Your Mother or something, and I just hear, and I'm like, well, they'll roll over. She's watching TikToks of drifting and shit, and I'm just like, wow, this is annoying. this is really cool, but really like, no one wants to be laying, and your partner always lays in bed like this with their phone to the back of your head, and some like music. Music going on, you're picturing the videos, right?
You're so 30, bro.
Oi, 30 in Japan doesn't count. So it was good to finally share drifting with her, even though I don't fully count it as drifting a Motorcana.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to someday actually take her on the track drifting. I would like to get her sim racing a bit more and actually get her to give like a Motorcana a shot, maybe.
I'm mad at you.
Why?
You're like, Adam, you can't do sim racing because I want to do it, run a shot.
I know.
I really want to do it.
I thought that crossed my mind. I'm like, we just were both, Zach and I like, oh yeah, sim racing is Adam, you can't do it.
You've just like excluded me from going to you because I was gonna ask, like, hey, can I come around and try the sim? But I'm like, I can't ask Brendan.
It's a good
So
video
I'll
idea.
ask Zach.
No, you can't.
I was going to.
It's a good video idea.
You can
Maggie
come
versus Adam.
Can Adam grip race on a sim?
No, he can't get any experience of the sim racing. He won't like grip racing anyway. So
Yeah, I know. It's boring.
Look at him.
Mate, I've done sim once, and I was faster than everyone else.
Too
in the
much
sim.
experience already.
I was no, sorry, I hit the
You
mic.
ruined
I
the
was-
idea.
It's faster than everyone else.
All right. How can we
They're
do
literally like,
that?
oh yeah, they're full grip racer boys. Like,
Okay.
I like
We can do
do
this.
this here and blah blah blah. They're like, oh, get Adam on. He would just crash instantly. He nailed it first. Yeah.
I'm so bad with I was the most frustrated.
Like, trust me, if you like threw me on another one, I probably would fuck it up.
I had done like 10 events. I learned very slowly how to drift. I'm a very reserved, scared person, and I had no one helping me.
It wasn't drifting. It was grip.
Oh, but I'm speaking drift. And my sim racing with drifting. So I had like 10 events, 8 maybe, of like never playing sim. And I had my mates, like we'd just go to my house and it's like, I did a drift day. Oh, you need a weldy. You need a weldy. You don't. My LSD is fine. Shut up. You need a weldy. Anyway, I learnt that. So like I progressed much slower than I would personally like. And I see people come to our drift days where you get optimal seat time. And I see people go from like beginners to better than me in one day. And it's really cool to see. And it's like my favorite thing to watch. But I jumped on sim and could not do it for the life of me. I had no gauge of speed, no gauge of anything. Like I don't know where to put the wheels.
There's no G-force. There's no tire sort of.
But
feel.
I like-
So you did really good.
Like, I want to get a sim and stuff, but then I'm literally like adding it up. I'm like, it's gonna cost me that much money. Why don't I just buy a really shit car?
Brendan's.
Why don't I just buy a really shit car and do like drifting in
Because
that?
it's
Exactly
you buy the shit.
I know
car.
it's a consistent cost once
Yeah.
you buy the shit car, but it's just like
It's
I don't know.
I see sim as a training thing. If you are like you either buy it as a game and enjoy it, or you buy it as an accessory to owning a car. I don't think if you want to own a car and grip race, you're not going to get your excitement out of sim. You're going to get your practice out of sim.
So then it's just gonna do like the same thing of me working at Keep It Read. Just like, fuck, I wish I could just do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a tease.
But I've had an epiphany. Zachary has.
I'm surprised you know how to say that word.
That's a big word for
That's a big
Breny,
word.
isn't it?
So I haven't said a word recently that's too big for my brain to calculate. What if you sweat drift sim and Zachary doesn't? How much drift sim have you done?
I can link a course, but I don't know how to brake, like use my left foot braking or anything. I kind of just
too
like
much. That's still too much.
I kind
wanted
of
you to play my sim a lot, and then Zachary and you do a track day, and then it's the WUC track day, the WUC drift day in my S14.
Yeah,
Because let's face it, Zachary's never going to drift his.
I'd do it,
8.6.
but I need my own sim because my car will get stolen at your house.
Wow. Wow.
You've said multiple times that it
fair
would.
point. Car's been broken into like 5 times. It's so Did I tell so my first ever batch of social stickers was in my glove box of my S13. I was learning how to make them, learning cut depths and different materials, and I was having a ball making my friends all their Instagrams just to practice and do different, like you have to learn a lot of things like revolving around it all. I had them all in my glove box. Someone broke into my car. That's what they stole. That's
Really?
what they stole.
Wow.
My first batch of stickers. And I was in the car, and it was the first time I didn't actually put my little steering wheel lock on or disable the engine. Not telling you guys how I do that. Because I was like, I'm just going into the shops. I'll be 2 seconds. Anyway, get back out. My whole lock barrel smashed off. They were this close to stealing my car. I don't know what stopped them. Literally the only time I've ever left my car fully accessible. They screwdrivered my key barrel, broke my ignition barrel like half off. They mustn't have broke it properly and then they couldn't get in. So I ended up having to steal my own car to get back home. I had I get a little toolbox out the boot and I'm like, idiots, like undoing it, steal my own car. And so the most unnerving thing was I'm in the shopping center and I see some gangly looking dickhead. I'm like, he looks suspicious. He looks like he's up to something. He's going through an envelope. You know where I kept my stickers in? The envelope. And I looked at this guy I'm 90% certain that guy was sifting through my stickers looking for, I'm assuming, money to be in
I'd
the
say
envelope
money.
in my
He probably
glove
just
box.
saw it and it probably had a bit of thickness to it.
And
he's like, oh, must be money.
yeah, and because you know the envelopes, I use nice
Yeah.
card ones, like yeah, and I looked at him and I'm walking out to my car and I just have an off feeling. I get to my car and I'm like, why is my interior light on? And yeah, then I noticed, like I thought I steal my own car, get it going, and I'm like, oh, that sucks. And I'm like, oh, that, and then I open the glove box and I notice, oh, my stickers be taken. And then it's like, and I'm like, that gangly motherfucker. Yeah, so I went back in the shops, looked in the bin that he was emptying my stickers into, I'm assuming. They had changed the bin because it took me a sec to steal my own car. And so I was crushed. I didn't want to find the guy. I just wanted to know if I saw him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Sylvia's really copped it.
Yeah,
with
how many times has a Sylvia been broken into?
I want to say 5, but like, so once I parked out the front of my aunt's house. It was before a Winton day.
Mm-hmm.
The car was unadvised for 2 hours. We went in, like, it was like 3 a.m. We had to get up at 5 a.m. I went to bed for 2 hours, came back out. My door was open, fire extinguisher missing. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
This time I had actually disabled the car and had my steering wheel lock on.
Isn't it nice to think that you've saved someone from a fire, though?
Yeah. Maybe they had a house
Maybe
fire.
they had a
maybe-
house
yeah,
fire. They
The
went and put out
other
with
thing
it.
was they were one boot latch away from like $4,000 of tools in my boot.
Ooh, yeah, that's right.
So it
That's
was
right,
really,
because you were a certified mechanic, weren't you?
have I told you guys that?
I don't know if you've told us yet.
I think you should tell us again.
So many years ago, yeah, I had all my tools in the back. I always overpack for events. If I can fit it in, why not? You know, I'm a bit lesser like that now. Like the Motorcanas, I'm like oil shifter. Like, what can't I do with this shifter? But back in the day, I used to be like, oh, why not take my whole toolbox? Maybe because
Yeah.
it's huge and annoying.
Unnecessary. is the
Unnecessary. He
word
wanted
he's
to say it,
looking
but he's
for.
like, I don't want to stop
He's
that.
No, I was
getting
going to
there.
say elaborate. No. Oh, there's my word. Inconveniencing. I
Or
don't
just
know.
maybe in... Fuck.
Yeah, see, there's a word there. I just
I don't know what you're trying to. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Inconveniencing. Come on, mate. Get
Inconvenience.
behind it.
Because it's an
Inconvenience.
It's an
inconvenience.
inconvenience
to
to
take it
lift
all.
this big ass toolbox. That's what I was trying to get that sentence, but I was already halfway
Yeah, I
through.
know. Your brain cells are washing off on me.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You're getting dumber by the minute, mate.
Yeah.
Soon you'll be at 8:15. Anyway, yeah, my mate's like, oh, what are you gonna do, bro? And I'm like, go do the track day. There's nothing else I can do. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't steal my tools. My car looks fine. I checked my oil. Like, doesn't look like they popped the hood and stuck rocks in there or anything. You know, just sabotage me and my track times. And so yeah, I went into the track day. That one was one of the bad ones. And then the one, it's been broken into twice at my old address, which is kind of close to my new address. Hence why I'm like,
Are people
and
starting to realize why I'm a bit thinking about taking my car to Brenny's house?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my car's garage now. It wasn't for so long, and every single day it's like walk out, still there. It's a good way to start your day, though. Don't
Win-
it?
a win's
It's
win.
nice.
My music. Yeah, and then I think it's like, there's been times where I've walked up to it and I'm like, why does the key barrel look like angled? And it's got a janky key barrel to begin with. Like my key works sometimes
Yeah.
it doesn't.
Yeah, it's
And
kind of
so
like a... I don't know what the word
optional.
is. It is an optional thing. It's just like you persuade it to open
Also-
all Skylines and all
also-
S chassis.
I think it's had that twice. And then when they broke my key barrel, I got the door and the barrel done again. So my key's all nice again, but what's that, 4 times? 5 times? I don't know. But
Yeah.
like it just seems like they I don't even know if they got in the car. Once it was just like I come out and it's like unlocked. I'm like, oh, you know how I can tell? I have this little underseat sub and it doesn't actually bump that hard. It just feels like someone's like on your bum.
Yeah.
It's really weird feeling. I love it. Anyway, what was I saying?
Talking about your
How
underseat
you can
sub.
tell?
Oh, yeah. So they seem to always try to steal the remote for that, but it's actually like I've drilled a hole and it goes into my center console.
I know the one
So
you have,
like,
yeah.
and yank it, and then it's always like flipped out. And so the amount of times I've opened my car, like, why is it not in the glove box? And yeah, so the car's just, that's why I'm so paranoid. Like, no matter where I go, it's like locked up now because
Yeah.
I don't care if it's out front of work. I've seen multiple cars stolen out front of like mechanic workshops and stuff
certainly.
in my time. Now, have you guys had any car break-ins?
Nah, none.
It's a very invasive feeling.
Yeah, I
Like,
wouldn't like it. I wouldn't be happy.
Yeah, you just you feel this like huge level of disrespect. I would love to know if any of the audience have had like their cars broken.
It is
into
like
or-
one of my biggest fears because I've had mates that have had cars stolen and stuff, and they're just like frantically trying to find it and stuff. And, like,
Yeah.
the cops aren't doing anything about it because it's too hard to find, takes up too much of their time. And
Well, that actually I don't know why this wasn't my first example. Maggie borrowed her brother's car. Pete, shout out Little Turtle. That's his IGN. Anyway,
Cringe.
he
little turt.
Little
Little
Turtle. Anyway, she borrowed his R33 one day to get to work. Right out the front of her workplace, within eye shot, someone stole it. And
Never found? Or?
And that is actually when I first was starting to see Maggie, and he's like, "Oh, I think I'm just gonna, get paid out and buy it back or something." And I'm like, "Just get the car back. They're not gonna give you enough money to replace the car. If you love that car, just get the car back." And he did, and I think he's really happy with that. I slid into their life at that time to give this. I used to work in insurance. They don't want to give you money or the car back.
Yeah.
They want to get away with this,
Yeah.
That's like another pet peeve when people are like, "I've got insurance." It's like, do you think that's a fun process to claim
Nah,
insurance?
they'll do
Oh, God,
anything
no.
that they can to not pay you.
Yeah, like the amount of times we had people like assessors come to work and they're like, "Aftermarket steering wheel, huh?" This could be an ABS issue, and they're trying to track it down to something that your accident could not be their fault. So ease up with your, "I've got insurance, just drive safe." Brenny's rant. I'm gonna start a rant series.
So yeah, his car got stolen. He got it back. He's all good though?
Yeah. They did that, but that's I even remember seeing on socials his thing all popping up because got stopped. Once again, insurance process takes a long time, so he didn't have a car for 4 months. "Oh, I've got insurance." Yeah. And so I met Maggie and I was like, "Oh yeah, I definitely recommend getting your car back, but you should be able to get paid out as well." And I think he did end up getting the car back and paid out.
Yeah, nice.
So that was really good for him, and he has a lot of love for that car. And I hope to take him to track days and stuff with us. Since you're inviting everyone to all our track days that we're planning, I'm gonna start inviting everyone.
100%.
Yeah, fair
I'm
point.
keen for it.
I'd love the car scene to be bigger here, honestly.
Mm.
I just feel like it's very toxic. The whole gang standing at your cars their car's lame. Zach over there doing that.
Literally.
Do four-wheel drive people do that? I feel like four-wheel drive people are friendly, but maybe I don't know.
I think it's friendly banter all the time. Toyota, it's the Toyota Nissan debate is the biggest one. Or IFS and solid axle. So it's just the type of
What's
car,
IFS?
independent front suspension.
Oh, okay. Oh, IRS.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same thing really. That's probably less. It's mainly the Toyota Nissan.
That's a weird thing, isn't it? Imagine if his stance people did that. "I have IRS. What do you have? Solid rear." I feel like that'd be a really
because,
weird thing to talk about.
because
for
because
forward
the type
driving,
but
though.
the
Yeah.
type of suspension for four-wheel drive that is
Yeah.
very big difference.
Yeah.
So IFS doesn't flex basically. If you spend a lot of money you can make it flex, but it's a lot harder because then solid axle, if the right front wheel goes up, it pushes the left front wheel down, so it's going to flex more.
I've done the math. That works
I've
out.
done the math.
Yeah.
It's standard physics. But basically, solid axle is mainly older cars. It's only in the 70 series now and Jeeps.
Do you reckon people with you got the whole Nissan Toyota and then someone drives past in a Jeep? Is that a
No, everyone's like, "Fuck Jeeps."
everyone goes, meanwhile me I drove a Jeep twice at work and I'm like, "Ooh."
No, I think everyone's pretty good. Pretty good. It's always a friendly banter though.
Yeah.
It's typical Toyota drivers or that sort of stuff. But there's nothing that's like.
What about like the camping environment? Because I've been camping once. Shout out, that was actually a really good experience. It was very, I would get very homesick, and I also like my showers, as you know.
The camping or touring environment is not what you expect. It's basically like who can be the most like responsible car. It's like, damn, you get better fuel economy than I do. Oh,
Really?
man.
wow.
Oh, but have you seen how easy it is to cook this steak? Like, it's like who's the most like
know what?
responsible, like cleanest, like easy to use.
I got
setup.
that vibe. I got that
But
vibe.
it's so like wholesome though, because like you're away and everyone just always talks about their setup and like what they want to do. They normally actually do it. That's the difference. They're normally like actually in the process of doing it. I mean, you guys have heard me talk about my car. Like it's booked in.
and you
it's
do
gonna
none
be,
of it.
it's happening. But it's I like that experience a lot more than I like the full driving experience. People are like, oh, I just want to make my car like, flex more and stuff. I'm sort of pretty over that.
Where like it seems like the camping glamping vibe thing is like, oh, that's a really smart way to do that. I'm gonna give that a shot.
Literally, like if you go with like mates or something, it's always like, oh, come check it out. And like, oh yeah, I'll go have a look. And you're like, oh, that's a good idea. I'm gonna steal that from my car. And it's just like, it's so.
That is really nice.
It's like so wholesome stuff. Like no one cares what car you got when it comes to like the camping side of things. And it's almost like the more you do it yourself, more people are like impressed. They're like, oh, yeah, that's a sick idea, because a lot of people, they don't have the money or don't want to spend the money to like just get someone to do it. So they just like come up with ways to make things happen themselves. And sometimes there's some really good ideas. And you're like, you should start selling that.
I like when I went on my one camping trip, we just tented it. We drove up in a RAV and a Commodore, so it wasn't very very high country, but it was a good vibe. And I got to kind of sit and see that situation. Like there was this one cashed up lad, obviously, fucking parks the camper thing.
Yeah, the thing transforms.
It transforms into basically a house. And then you got like all the different levels of like where people are at and how much money they're willing to spend on it. It actually was really interesting. I don't know, maybe I was being antisocial, or there was a lot of drunk people. I don't do great around a lot of drunk people. And like have I told you guys that was my New Year's with Maggie? New Year's with Maggie at Glen Maggie, which was lovely. We went to
Stories with Brendan.
Stories with Brendan. Yeah, and like it's New Year's Eve, and there's guys doing burnouts in rigs along this bridge.
Yeah.
2 guys on dirt bikes doing burnouts. 1 guy pouring fuel along the bridge and lighting it on fire, while other people were shooting fireworks. And I'm just sitting there like, just quit being full-time streamer essentially. Like, is this what normal people do? Because
I'll tell you how much I hate New Year's. New Year's is the worst. I hate New Year's so much.
Why?
Well, because it's always such a big build-up, and it's always let down. It always sucks. So the best one I've been on was the last one that I was at. Well, I was in South Australia.
For New Year's?
Yeah, for New Year's. It was at Hardwick Bay. Everyone was like, New Year's is stupid. We'll just try and stay up till 12 and then go to bed. But it was just like, but it was
who's in their 30s now?
But it was a much better environment, because like we just sat on the beach. So we put our chairs in front of the cars, like a little bit down onto the beach, and everyone's literally just like cruising up and down the beach in cars and stuff. There was fireworks like everywhere, but it wasn't. It was like the best experience I've had on New Year's, because people weren't being. I mean, there's definitely people being dumb, but just not in our area.
Yeah.
But it was so much calmer. And I think it's because we weren't going to somewhere with people that were like, I want to party all the time.
No, I think that's what ruins it for me. And that's you coming into old age, by the way, is like when it's got to be a big elaborate plan.
No,
I don't
but it's the what's the word? Oh, I've forgotten. It's like it's the build up sort of thing. It's like, no, tonight has to be.
Yeah.
Like,
the anticipation.
Yeah.
Of a big night, whereas like the best night, like I actually really like, apart from the weird Bogan burnout bridge fireworks show,
not a fan
it
of
felt
that.
like it was the Sydney Art though. Like we were all around a campfire playing like silly campfire games. We got to see a bit of fireworks. Like you got, it was definitely a nice vibe. do not enjoy the boiling ass weather it was. Like, I like my AC.
You get that. But literally, like with the touring side of stuff, it's so funny. Like the comparisons you do. You're like, oh, could you stay in fifth gear going up that hill? Or like, how's your EGTs? Oh, mine's sitting at 300 the whole time. Let's run a cool as.
I did the same with the Starlet.
Mate, we must have had a tailwind yesterday because I got 14 litres per 100 instead of 15.
Wait, is that so you drive close to each other?
No. Well, you can. You
like a tailwind then?
And tailwind is like
oh,
wind comes from
no way. Like a fucking boat.
Yeah. Bro, have you seen my car? It's like a brick.
Yeah.
Just like flat windscreen. It is.
Oh, no. That's pretty good. I like that.
But I don't know. It's funny. And it's like no matter what trip I will go on, that is a topic of conversation, is your fuel economy and how warm your car gets.
Do you reckon it's like default conversation, like when like, oh, how's your day? Not bad. No, you know, is that like their default, or is it literally? Because like it does sound like they're like, get around my little campfire setup I've built here, you know.
But it's one of like the first questions that a four-wheel driver will ask. Oh, what's your fuel economy?
Oh,
literally.
I'm gonna fail that. You're fucked.
Yeah, I'm screwed.
I got oil consumption, fuel consumption, can't go anywhere.
Yeah. Rotary guys talk about how much oil are you burning?
Yeah.
Basically per
It's very
fill-up.
similar.
It is very similar. Yeah.
What mods are you going to
How
do?
many rebuilds have you done in the last tank of fuel? It's great. All that good
How many
stuff.
tow trucks have you had? How many times have you driven it in the sun?
Oh,
In
no,
the
I don't
sun.
like
Yeah,
sun.
yeah.
I'm like the car's like a vampire. You can't come out in the
Oh,
sun.
your
mate.
car. I'm like, why is that announcement? Like I'm not a fan of driving in the sun, but I will do it.
But no, it's a really good environment. I think you would actually thoroughly enjoy it. But you sort of have to like have a little bit of knowledge about it, like have your own car, because then you start like understand why people do certain things.
Yeah. Well, that's why. Like, I think I'm a sucker for. I need to try things before I buy. I'm a big sucker for that. Drifting is the only thing I hadn't really done that with, but it still did, because like it only flicked the switch for me when I went in that guy's car. Then I was like, no, I have to do this. And it's the same with like camping. Like I enjoyed camping, but I'm happy I didn't spend any. I bought a inverter. That's it. I bought some inverter off some. I messaged like someone on Marketplace, and I think like her son put it up. But then I get there and some like 92-year-old lady comes out like, oh, here it is. And I'm like, I've rolled up in the Sylvia, and I'm just like, you must feel really uncomfortable around me. Although I don't think I give intimidating vibes.
No.
I always
no, definitely not. No,
yeah.
no.
At our events.
Sorry, your car gets broken into so much.
Yeah. Oh, look at that little bitch.
He's not going to do
I
shit.
get the same thing.
Yeah, you
though.
watch your back, Zachary. Don't park in my area. No, at our events, we have guest signings and all that, and I have to pick, and I hate doing it, but I have to be like, okay, this is the end of the line. No one come past. People just walk past me. They just walk past me. Some of them will do it right in front of me. I'm like, what are you doing, mate? Like, I'm sorry, but the line's shut, and I have to not be rude, because I just want to be like, what do you think I was standing here facing that way for?
Listen here, you fuck.
But that's what I'm thinking in my head. And then what I'm actually saying is
Can you
like,
tell that Adam's parents aren't here tonight? We're yelling a lot.
actually, mate, the line was, sorry, the signing was from 8 till 10, and it's apparently 11, 12.
It's actually finished.
Really, really like polite. But then old mate Sacey boy, shout out Sace, third shout out this video. He was the one that was like, what are we going to do when my car got broken into? The one that taught me manual, and the one that be my bodyguard at the events, because he's intimidating. He once punched me in the face because I burped at him by accident.
That's
I didn't
fair
mean
enough.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have punched me too.
I'll take any chance.
Brendan, there's a cockroach. Don't worry.
It's on your face.
Oh, you're a dog.
Oh, that's great. So using him as just an intimidation tactic, and
Just
then
using him as a bit of meat.
Just a bigger lad, you know,
big
tall.
bloke, yeah.
Like, whereas I'm like, excuse me. Yeah, that's for the audio listeners.
He's
waving.
doing the most feminine wave I've ever seen.
What's up, guys? I'm
He's
like
doing like
I'm
the
like
Stop.
taxi.
I'm like a sim. Flabba-dabba-doo. Did you guys ever play sim?
Sarah was addicted to it.
Oh, I feel bad. Like, Sims is
Dude,
fire.
I have a. Sorry, this is not
Oh,
car related or anything. Did you ever play Age of Empires?
Oh, don't get me going. You
right.
guys want to play a quick
Please
8
don't get
hours
him
game?
going.
I would love to
We'll
play
put a
8
quick
hours
8 hour
game.
game after
Did you
the
play Age
party?
of Empires?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so
If
I
he's too
started
young,
with.
didn't get in the
I
box of
started
catalogs.
with I started with 2, right, and I got really good at that. Then went to 3, of course, and then I waited the good long 11, 12 years for number 4 to come out.
Let down.
I was I was a little bit let down, but I actually started playing it when it first came out. I pre-ordered the game, I got it, I downloaded it. I was playing the first night Age of Empires 4 came out.
Okay, I was going to say, I'm like, when Age of Empires 2 came out, you were probably sperm.
It's it's 20 years old at the moment. So
Age of Empires 2, don't believe.
Yeah.
It's got to be older than that.
Oh,
can't
I
Google
wish I
it.
could
Yeah, you
Google
can.
it.
No Google.
I saw a clickbait YouTube title that says that the game was 20 years old. So I'm going to say it's 20 years old. It's about as old as me.
I think it's 30. It's about as old as me.
Adam,
Adam, you can't look it up.
No, I'm doing other stuff.
He's
Okay.
looking at the views again on the short.
It's only 2.1.
I'm sorry.
It went so fucking
Well, yeah.
good.
Okay. Weird thing, right? You've met my girlfriend. Okay.
Yeah.
You
Which
know
one?
that she's
Yeah, what one are we speaking
the
about?
main one,
Oh,
the
the main
Sarah
one.
one. Yeah. So Sarah, I'm sorry for
Sarah
the ones
one.
that I'm going to offend here, but
Well, none of them listen to the
It's
podcast.
Well, that's
Sarah
exactly
one.
right. Sarah one.
Yeah.
So yeah. So she's blonde.
First
She has
edition.
her like Instagram model thing. We've got the most picture perfect dogs. Our house looks like a freaking Hessian bag. All of this sort of stuff, right?
How many milk crates are in your house?
Oh, dude.
With a little pillow on top of them. Ooh, it's decor.
I don't want to. She's like the whitest white girl in the history of the world, and her name is Sarah Best. Like literally, you cannot get any whiter than this.
Everyone
right?
had her on Facebook.
Right? But I'm here, playing Age of Empires. Okay, Age of Empires 4. I've just loaded up. She's like, are you playing Age of Empires? And I'm like, what? How the fuck do you know this game? And she's like, yeah, I used to play it when I was
Oh,
young.
no
Oh,
way.
no ways. Anyway, here she is buying this game so we can battle each other. But then when we started to battle, she's like, why are you attacking me?
Ah.
I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, I only play so I can build the little cities. I'm like, motherfucker! What the fuck are you talking about? And yeah, no, she
So she basically played Age of Empires and then found Sims and
Yeah.
realized that was a game for her.
I knew she always played Sims, and her sister played Sims, and they loved that. But yeah, no, I didn't realize that her Sim obsession started out with Age of Empires and her building a little sandbox community.
I
thing.
will admit it is a vibe when you're like, what is it? When you like hide yourself in the corner and you're like building up your
Yeah,
empire. It's
yeah.
a vibe.
It's good,
you know,
but
I love that game
I
so
can't
much.
believe I couldn't attack her. I don't know why.
Couldn't.
So anyway,
Witness.
fucking decimated her place.
Yeah.
She was nothing after that.
All she heard was, I don't want to know.
Yeah, pretty much. All of a sudden, all of her troops were taken, and she was done for. So yeah. Anyway, I destroyed her village. I put her back in her place. Understood that
It's a
she
funny
could.
word for it.
What?
Destroyed a village. We use other words.
What are you on? What are you on?
Went right over your head, Adam. Watch out, it's coming back for round 2. It's a boomerang. That's a wrap. Let's end it.
That's it. We gotta end it.
I think that's all right.
We gotta end it.
All right,
Alright.
guys. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for listening to episode 7. We won't be back.
The final
The
episode.
final episode.
Final
we got the
episode
Club.
until next week
Yeah.
when we're back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a few guests lined up. It's gonna be good. Got a couple things
50
going
Cent.
on. Rate us 5 stars on Uber.
Buy our stickers off
Buy our
the
stickers.
Buy our stickers
stickersocials.com.
and send them to us in your stories because that's fire. I love when people
It's
like
pretty cool. Yeah.
just send us stories. I like people getting
Comment
around
dumb
it.
shit on the TikToks.
Yeah, start arguments.
Start arguments.
Yeah.
What a positive vibe.
Yeah.
Start arguments.
We
Thanks
love
for
to
listening.
see it.
Thanks for listening. Yeah.
Check out our socials. Love you.
Group kiss.